Okay, looking at page 132 through 137, again, going to take you a little whirlwind tour. But you see here we're talking about complete subjects and complete predicates, which means that not only are we going to have the simple subject, Garth Brooks, the simple predicate, will perform. Simple predicate is the verb, basically. Okay, but we're obviously going to add some things when we write sentences. So we want to show, I'm drawing a little diagram, or I've drawn a little diagram here for you to see that the word talented, the adjective talented, it modifies Garth Brooks, so we put it on the same side, and we just draw a little line down to show that it goes with Garth Brooks. Will perform, what will he perform? So I've drawn a straight line here to show the direct object, which is hits. That is the thing that he will perform. And we talked about direct objects before. We'll talk about them again in this chapter. But you can see how you can set this out on a visual diagram so you can see very clearly Garth Brooks will perform. What will he perform? Hits. So that's the essence of the sentence. Now we've added a little bit here too to the word hits. His hits, his biggest hits. So those again are going to come down on a slanted line showing the words that they actually are modifying. So the talented I forgot the word the, so I should put that here too. The talented Garth Brooks. Oh, actually, that's not in the sentence on page 132, so I had it right to begin with. But if I did have the talented Garth Brooks, then again, of course, that word the would go underneath the subject that it is modifying. So what they're trying to show you on 132 and 133 is simply that every part of the sentence is either going to be in the subject or the predicate. So the complete subject, the complete predicate, will be defined for you on these pages. So on page 133, as you can see, the first sentence, lions spend a great deal of their time simply lying in the sun. They've underlined everything except the word lions. Well, lions, of course, would be the subject, and then everything else would be the complete predicate. So number one, the answer would obviously be complete predicate. I don't really think there's a need for you to do that particular practice, but you can, or at least do some of it if you wish, just to make sure that you understand the concept. Now on the bottom of page 133, there is a bit here about compound subjects, compound predicates, and of course you can have two subjects. The example that they give you here, neither the tomato nor the pepper grows underground, is the sentence on the top of page 134. Both the tomato and the pepper are rich in vitamin C. Now that's, either one of those I think is pretty easy to see that you've got two subjects there, both tomato and pepper. So let's look at that second sentence. And actually the way we draw those, again, we're going to do a little dotty line here with the word and on it. And then the word both on the other side. Show that we've got that correlative conjunction. Carrots, is that the word here? No, tomato. A carrot does grow over underground, doesn't it? Tomato, and the pepper would be your subject. I'm not great at writing on my iPad here, as you notice, but hopefully you can see it well enough. Both the tomato and the pepper, of course, we would have the word the down here if we want to be precise. Both the tomato and the pepper. And we want to say are. And then we have what we call a predicate adjective coming after it. And I'm going to use the one, tomatoes and the pepper are healthful. I'm going to kind of combine a couple of sentences there because I'm trying to keep it simple. Okay, so here I have a predicate adjective. because it follows a linking verb, and remember that linking verbs are always going to be followed either by predicate adjectives or predicate nominatives. In this case, we have the predicate adjective following the word. So both the pepper and the tomato are healthful. So that's how we're going to do the diagramming of that particular sentence. On page 135, we note that some sentences can have the subject out of order, because usually you'll have the subject first in English and then the predicate. So subject and then predicate, and we always diagram it that way. But in real life, it doesn't always work that way. So as they show you on the bottom of page 136, you could have a sentence in inverted order. In the distance flowed a river. So we would actually have in the distance flowed a river, but we could have this. We know that the subject is river because that is the thing that flowed. So just think about how would you put that on a diagram. What would be on the subject line? And what would be on the predicate line? What's the simple subject? What's the simple predicate? And if that can be very helpful if you're looking at a very convoluted sentence. You know, if I had to just pull out the simple subject and the simple predicate, what would they be? And if I can do that, then I'm well on my way to understanding the sentence. You see other examples there, a little bit above where I just was. We have the sense of the questions, okay? Was she correct? Okay, we understand that sentence, but there are some other more complicated sentences that may be more difficult to understand when that subject doesn't come first. So using this very simple, easy to understand sentence, we realize that if we were going to diagram that, it would be she was correct. She was, what was she? She was correct, predicate adjective there. So that's how it would be diagrammed, even though the inverted order, is here. Okay, so try some exercises on page 137. Read the rest of those pages. I didn't cover absolutely everything, but I think you can read for yourself and see the examples that they give you. And on page 137, see if you can find the simple subjects, the simple predicates in sentences with an inverted order. And again, some of these may seem very easy, but if you can get the basics here, then that's really going to help you when you come to a more complicated sentence.